Hey. Hey, weirdos. Evan Jarvix here with Make Oklahoma Weirder. This is an update, just in general. Hopefully, I will do these regularly. This will be the first installment. If so, just an update of what's going on, as far as my observations and experience, with local music here in the past week or so. I had a conversation with somebody recently about this, and I was like, I feel like the videos are taking so long because I'm still kind of learning how to edit and all that stuff. Video coming soon, though. I guess I'll start there. A couple weeks back, I went to this place called the Dojo, which is pretty on the down low, unless you're just really tapped into some of the fringier sides of rock music. For those of you who don't know, there is a venue in Midwest City. It's called the Dojo. It's literally at a dojo. They have a lot of hardcore shows there, but they aren't exclusively hardcore. That just tends to be one of the only places shows like that get to happen, especially if you can't book at the 89th Street venue, which is very hard to get into and is always booked out months ahead of time. Anyway, I checked out a show. There was a 7-band show. 3 were locals, 4 were touring acts, and I got a little bit of footage, and I'm going to be putting together a pretty tongue-in-cheek video about that pretty soon as I get it edited and uploaded and all that stuff. Should probably invest in a decent internet connection that doesn't go out on me, cocks. Anyway, I'm not editing this. This is just a straight video, and hopefully I'll be able to blow through some things real quick. What happened this past week? Well, I went to there we go, the Friendly Market in Norman, which is a substance-friendly store, and I personally played a show there last month. They're starting to kind of book shows. This is on, I believe, Porter. If you're ever in downtown Norman, like right there on the Strip, it's basically at that intersection where the Giro shop is and all that. And you just go like half a block down, and there's this shop in a little shopping center. They're starting to have shows, and I caught a show on Friday. Kat Locke, who is in St. Basic, is starting a solo project. I got to see her first show, as well as Magic Munchbox, who I enjoy quite a bit. They're kind of an instrumental funk, prog rock kind of thing. So pretty cool show. It was outdoors. It was kind of warm, but it was nice. And new venue for you if you don't know. They're doing at least one show a month for the Second Friday Art Walk, which, who isn't now? If you're ever in Norman on the Second Friday Art Walk, there's like 10 different shows going on at the same time that you can just like check out all these bands. Some are outdoor, some are indoor, some are major acts, like the ones that get booked at the Opolis and are officially part of the event, and then some are more unofficial, like the ones that happen at the, what's the sea shanty place? There's like a scuba gear shop that has shows sometimes too. Anyway, there's tons of shows in Norman, and now you can add Friendly Market to that list. I like their logo, so I picked up a hat. I caught the Rock and Roll Camp for Girls showcase, which was super great. Rock and Roll Camp for Girls OKC, of course, if you don't know, is a yearly event. It's just lasts 1 week. It's a Monday through Friday thing, but it's this yearly event where all sorts of people from the music community come together in service of getting rock instruments in the hands of up-and-coming, growing, young female musicians-to-be, and musicians already, I guess. But there's literally like, if there's 50 campers, they said there was 50 campers this year, and there were 50 volunteers, doing all sorts of things, all women, and it's It's really cool to see women empowering women in a way that's kind of like territory that's previously seemingly been marked out for males. And so seeing all these girls in these bands that they formed in just 1 week. In 1 week, they met each other, formed bands. A lot of them learned new instruments. And then they wrote an original song and performed it at the Tower Theater. You know, that's something that would hurt my 14-year-old brain. I would not be able to do it. So kudos to everyone who's involved in that project. Of course, it's spearheaded by Carter Sampson, who you may have seen on all the billboards recently. I haven't checked it out yet, but I guess one of the casinos is having some sort of a music series, and I've seen Carter's face and name a lot of places. Also, she has a new album coming out soon. Be on the lookout for Lucky. I'm looking forward to it. Her last album was in my last top albums of the year back in 2016 with Wilder Side, which was excellent. So Rock and Roll Camp, very inspiring. They're in their 4th year. They're going to be coming up on their 5th year. Support it. They will have fundraisers throughout the year leading up to the next event. So Rock and Roll Camp for girls. Keep rocking. What else? I went to a show at Bluebonnet on Friday. That was cool. I caught a little bit of Chris Blevins, who's from Tulsa. Caught some originals, caught some covers. He was playing with Caleb McGee, who's kind of the Norman resident blues rocker. I guess you'd call him a blues rocker. He's just a bluesy dude. Super dirty blues, like, I don't know. I love Caleb McGee. He's a super cool guy, super charismatic, and man, he can lay down those guitar licks that just hit that spot. I don't know how else to put it. But I finally got to see Chris Blevins. He put out an album last year, one of the more underrated records. I think that one was on Horton out of Tulsa. I'm not totally sure on that. Wouldn't be surprised if it was. But Chris Blevins, super cool dude and very good songwriter, very good performer. And I was excited to finally catch him at a place like Bluebonnet on a Friday night where everyone was kind of loud and mostly paid attention to the covers or the really obvious moments. But man, there were some really nice, tender moments that I think the bar crowd totally just completely muffled out and drowned out in their own conversations. And I just want you to know, Chris Blevins, that I enjoyed all of your tender moments. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? I guess that's enough for now. I am pushing 8 minutes on this thing. Let's see. It's Tuesday night right now, and coming up, I've got Wednesday night. I'm going to be at the OK Sessions Amplify event. So if you ever want to come check out network with some local music movers and shakers, of which I am one, of which OK Sessions is one, come out to this event. We're going to have speakers and some other things. It's a networking event, and it's going to be happening at the Douglas Auditorium, which is kind of over on the east side, over in that recently reappropriated and gentrified old high school building, which I've been to before. It's a really nice auditorium. Very underutilized, partly because people just refuse to go to that side of town. I don't know why. They have the best food there. Hashtag Polk House. Hashtag Ice Event Center. Hashtag Carican Flavors. Anyway, I'm not here to promote food. So I'm going to be at that event. I'm also going to try to go to the Root if I can. The Root, if you don't know, the Root, a venue just a hair outside of the Paseo, on 30th Street in that little complex. They were recently burgled and lost a great deal of cash that is putting the venue in jeopardy for even continuing. And it's kind of a really important space for a lot of creatives. Opera on tap, happens there. There's an open mic hosted by Electra that happens there. There's a lot of really good music that happens there. So if you get a chance, check out The Root. They have a GoFundMe right now, and they need money to continue, or else we're going to lose the venue, and that'll make me sad. But The Root is having an event the same night as OK Sessions. For the record, The Root had their event way up earlier than OK Sessions, and OK Sessions didn't realize, I'm sure, that they were going to have their event on the same date and time. It's in the evening, so I'm going to attempt to swing both of them, because The Root is having a music network event. OK Sessions is having a music network event. I would really like to be at both of them, so I'll definitely be at the auditorium, the Douglas, with OK Sessions, because I have to talk to Christian about some things. But I'll also try to be at The Root. Thursday, Friday, I've got a couple shows personally that I'm playing, but they're cool in general too. Haniwa, who made my Big 50 last year, are saying goodbye to their drummer. They're getting a new drummer because Jake Jones is moving away for his own artistic endeavors out of state. So that show is happening Thursday night at the 51st Street Speakeasy. I'll be playing that show. Friday, there is a show called Insight, art and music show, and that is an art show that's happening in the farmers market, public farmers market near downtown. That's put on by, I forget what the organization's called, but it's spearheaded by Josh Carpenter, who you will know as the drummer from the Fervent Route of Original Flow and the Fervent Route fame. So Fervent Route's going to be on that bill. I'm going to be on that bill. Teflo Dalla is going to be on there. Gnome is going to be on there. And then a whole slew of artists, and it's going to be fun. So that's where I'm going to be Thursday, Friday. Saturday, I'm probably going to check out, and I should plug Deep Deuce Sessions. I should plug a million shows because there's so many shows happening. But Deep Deuce Sessions is happening this Saturday. I'll swing through if I can. I'm not totally sure what my Saturday is looking like, but I know I want to catch a show at the Blue Note Lounge because we're getting a Tulsa band down, who I believe has only played here one other time. That was at Norman Music Fest on one of the weeknights, and people didn't know who they were. People didn't really show up for them, which bums me out. I reviewed their album for Cellador Music Group earlier this year, and I plugged that in the official event on Facebook for this. But Girls Club out of Tulsa is a really cool band. There's no guitarist. There's two bass players, a keyboard player, and a drummer. And they're a lot of fun, and have some really cool songs. And they're going to be playing with Dresden Bombers out of Norman, who have certainly been making some waves here recently. They came out with their EP earlier this year, Dance Music for Sad People, if I recall the title correctly. Who else is on that? The Lost End, who also put out an EP this year. So all three of these acts are fresh in the wake of having three really solid projects. If you're into some rock music, some post-rock, or not post-rock, post-punk. Post-punk, if you don't know, think like, I don't know, Bauhaus and like some of that David Bowie stuff from the era. Girls Rock is a little more synth-fueled, a little more poppy, but I think the energies are very similar. So that'll be a cool show. So I plan to be there on Saturday. We're pushing 15 minutes. I'm not really totally sure. If you've watched this whole thing, I appreciate you very much, and consider yourself somewhat informed on what's going on here in the scene. I promise this is nowhere near everything. This is just stuff that I've personally encountered and is personally on my radar as a priority. But there's a lot to check out, and hopefully I will do this regularly and keep you up to date on some other things. But yeah, this is just kind of a quick way for me to kind of throw some stuff out of my mouth into the internet for you to pick up and consider and look at. And Yeah, as far as Make Oklahoma Weirder goes, of course, keep following us on all social media. I treat every social media platform differently, so just kind of depends on what you're looking for. But we're still kind of figuring that out. Of course, the website won't be up for a while, etc. But I do have a video on the way of the dojo, and that should be fun. And then we'll see from there. Okay? Is that good? That's good. I think that's too much. But even if it's too much, I think it's good. Is it good? I think it's good. I think it's good. Is it good? I don't know.